Hi, my name is Heather Reichert. I'm a mixed media artist. I create mixed media art with vintage and recycled materials. I will take something as simple as a vintage cake server and turn it into a little scene. I hand cut everything on here. Everything on this piece is pretty much recycled except for the plywood. It's vintage paper from the 1940s. You have the vintage buttons, the salvaged nails, the rusted buckets that I cut apart. I just love creating. I've been creating forever. I won my first coloring contest. It was the 5 and Under Easter Kmart coloring contest in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Won a patio set for me and my little sister. My parents had a craft business, so I started painting and selling my work when I was 15 years old. I went to college as a painting major, and then I got pregnant with my son. So I was a stay-at-home mom all of my 20s and pretty much all of my 30s. About 7 years ago, we moved to Maryland, and that's when I really started my art business. I started creating as much as I possibly could. I did markets and little craft shows in the beginning, but my goal was to do fine art shows. So I had to keep perfecting my craft, and I had to keep changing what I was doing and getting better, because you really need to set yourself apart when you do, you're in this business. Because, there's so many people who do certain things, but if you really want to stand out, it has to be different. So even my setup is like, I use vintage doors, these huge wooden doors is my setup. Like everything from my displays to the pieces I'm making, I'm setting myself apart. So by the time we left Maryland, I was doing fine art shows, and about a year and a half ago, my husband was offered a promotion to Southern California. So a year and a half ago, we moved to Southern California, and last year I turned 40. And I no longer had this little business that I built. I was starting over again, and it was really intimidating, and I had the hardest time drawing a stick figure, creating. I had done a few shows last spring, and they went okay, but by the time my last show was, I said to my husband, I'm never making art again. I lost that passion for it. But I had applied and was accepted to a show near San Francisco, and I've always wanted to show my artwork near San Francisco. So I did a little pumpkin festival in Half Moon Bay, and my goal was, if I could make the art and do well at the show, then this is what I'm supposed to do. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. So I got a decent amount of inventory together, and I went up and I did the show, and I pretty much sold out. And I guess I didn't give up. All of last year, I was outside my comfort zone, to the point where you get tired of being outside your comfort zone. But that's where you grow. That's where you learn who you are. That's where you learn what you're made of. And I always tell my kids, if you love something and you're passionate about something, do it. And, it's going to take a lot of work and sacrifice. But if that's what you want to do, you do it. So anyways, thanks for this opportunity. I went over on my time. So, okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye.